Hello, how are we all doing today? It is Thursday and it's raining, but we have got some work to do with our animations, and last time that I was live we were setting up health and energy upgrades that you can get for your player. And during the time between the last stream and this stream, I have been making animations because it takes me ages to make animations. Damn. So let's see if I can pull one up. We've got events because we need to have these like sort of come in and out. Scenes, menus, energy acquired. I don't have any sound yet, but this is like when you get a battery, which is essentially, I mean, I'm calling it a battery. I don't really know what it is. I just drew this random shape thing. And when you get two of them, you get more energy to use to heal. At the moment, that's all it does. But eventually, we'll make it do like, you know, some kind of power up, like weapons, or like do a different attack, alternative attack, or whatever it is. But we just sort of got to get this stuff going. So when you get one energy, you get one. When you get two energy, you get two, and then it goes into gathered complete, which will sort of come together and it'll go over to where your energy is. Loved your third-person shooter course. Any plans for Souls-like? Ooh, I don't know about that. The Souls-like is really hard. The thing with like anything where you have like a lot of stuff, it gets really complicated. I suppose like realistically, what's the difference between a bunch of weapons and a bunch of guns? Guns are way easier than swords. Like melee combat is like on an order of magnitude more difficult to do. I generally avoid it because it's harder. But there's a guy out there who's got like heaps of resources on that. If you're interested, dude, what is his name? I reference him a bunch in my, because he does like all this animation stuff, because Souls-like is like, there's a lot of animation. Third person, just there's a lot of animation. Dude, what is his name? I can't remember now. It's like, if you want to know about this kind of stuff, he's the guy. I'm Googling on the other screen. Fair Fight. This guy. I recommend. He's not as direct in his teaching, but he is the guy to go to when it comes to advanced animation and locomotion, character controller done right. Like, he's got a lot of stuff, so I reckon he's the guy to go to. Returnius? He makes models. Models is one thing, yeah. I mean, that is a whole other issue. Getting the models and stuff like that. I suppose it's possible I could do that one day. I'm trying to think of what to make next for the like YouTube series. I'm probably just going to go back to first-person shooter because there needs to be an update for that. And I'd like to do one with animations. So those are the two things I'm thinking about now. But yeah, also like make game, which is something else that I really want to do, but I don't have a lot of time. Anyway, so we've got this animation, we've got the player, and I made some animations to add to our character. I've actually got sprint animations because I wanted to make a sprint animation. It's not the best. It's just sort of, we'll start here. But also like a power-up animation. So when you get one of these power-ups, he sort of goes into this pose and will like do a particle effect. It looks pretty weird at the moment, but you know. So I need to export these out as a sprite sheet. Visible layers, selected frames. That's what we want. And we split the layers out because that's what we do. We have to do it that way because I wonder if we can order them into like the blocks. Selected groups. I guess you could do them one by one. Oh no, this is like layout group. Yeah, layout. Fixed number of columns 4. Ignore empty. Don't ignore empty. Okay, yes, ignore empty. Okay. And then we're going to output this as like an extra file. And that is not the right place. When was the last time I exported something? Also, there's a big storm, so I might lose power. Okay, so Metroidvania and resources, sprites, hero sprite, and this is my third attempt, but this is really hero add-on. So yeah, I get this, and basically what I do, because otherwise the sprites break, I'll add that to the bottom of the sprite sheet. So if I add it to the bottom, it doesn't break the animations that are already in play, which is like key, because if I add this, I found it goes crazy. So I'll open up the current one, and this is off screen, so I'm sorry about that. Documents, network, development, project, assets, hero sprites, hero 3. So if I open this up, here, I'll bring this over to GIMP. So this is our current sprite sheet. We can see that I've cheated a little bit at the bottom here, and this is not good because I've broken up all the arms and legs, and the reason for that is that allows me to have the weapon, which is just his arm, be like showing up when he's shooting and point in all different directions. So like we needed to split out the arms, and then you end up, hey, we need to split the head up so it can look up and down, all that kind of stuff. And so you just do that. So we need to grab we import as layers, open as layers, and we can go to, it's under resources, sprites, hero sprites, add-on. Okay, so edit layer attributes. I want to know the properties of this because I need to know the size of it. It'll be right at the top here. And we just add this to the bottom. Layer, transform. I just want to show, is there a way that you can just do that? Scale layer. 128, the height is 384, so I need to add that to the image size. So image, canvas size, height is plus 384, and then drag this all the way up to the top so that it gets added to the bottom, and then resize, and we drag this guy all the way down. So all of this new stuff just gets put at the bottom, and it won't break my current animations. And it should fit perfectly, so I don't have to like worry about positioning it. I just need to line up the layer with the bottom of the image. Right, easy. Export as, we won't call it Hero 3, we'll call it Hero 3 New. Just so we don't overwrite the old one. And we'll export that. Easy. Okay. So now we can go back to Godot. And then we get the lovely project of importing and creating new animations and setting up that. So the other thing as well we need to take note here is the number of frames to put in. So it's always 4 across. So if I go to image size, canvas size here, 2464. When we go back to our calculator, an individual frame is 32, so 2464. Okay, I'm fat fingering everything. I need to turn my numpad on. 2464 divided by 32 is 77 vertical frames. So we just need to have that there when we bring this in. Got all our sprites here. And so when we bring in the hero sprite and we got hero 3 new, and we drop that in, you'll see that he gets a little smaller because we did change this from 68 to 77. And then everything should operate as normal. So we can replace all the sprite sheets and just change that vertical frames to 77. And it's, I don't know why I didn't think to do this the last time I did an update. It's just a lot easier to add that shit to the bottom. 65, and that just needs to change to 77. Sweet. Gun. Yeah, I suppose it's in there, right? Drag that in, and then change that to 77. Though you can't see it right now. Okay. Now, I was playing around with this morning and realizing that nothing was going to work. So, I can't animate the visibility of these sprites. It's just not gonna work because I am manipulating their visibility via code whenever we start to shoot. And so overriding that is sort of a no-go. It's just not gonna work. So I was testing that this morning and it's just not the right approach. Adding the split, I didn't want to split the sprites because it's like, it's useful for that one thing, but then when you know you don't need it, you kind of don't want to do that because it's a pain in the ass. But once you've chosen this setup, you can't really get out of it. It is what it is. So we're going to just remove these. Now, there is some we want to keep. I believe death is okay. We can't shoot when we're dying anyway. So we do want them to become all visible there. I don't know about fall. I'm just gonna... Welcome back. Okay. And then we're back to... See, when we do gun left, it actually makes that visible and makes the right arm visible. And left arm, apparently. Turn that off. Quick question. Go ahead, dude. So we've got sprint left here. So we just had with one frame. And we're playing around with visibility, which we really don't need to do. Now, we just have to work out the frame numbers for each of these, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Is the military going to fight with the main character or against the main character? Well, it's going to be a very lonely game. There's going to be the main character and obviously the enemies, probably like whoever's there is going to be like corrupted. And there's going to be some scientists that you can save, but not many, right? Like maybe 10 or 12. And there will be one, I'm planning for sure, one other character who is going to represent sort of like the darker side of the military, because this guy here is being sent by the government to investigate the facility. But there's going to be your sort of rival that's going to show up and give you a different order. So you're originally there to investigate, save the scientists. But he says, hey, I've got a side job with the company that runs this research facility. Cover up, kill everybody, and you get to choose what to do, right? And then that decides like who the final boss is going to be. Maybe it's him, maybe it's something else, you know? So it could be more. It's just, the thing is with being a solo developer, you want to keep like the number of moving parts to a minimum, if that makes sense. So like in theory, perhaps you could have like a rebel force or something like that you have to fight against, that's like sort of misguided or whatever. But you know, it's a lot. Oh, that's true. So, okay, so we're going to add this animation. Right arm gun is not visible. Are there going to be robots in the facility? Yeah, so everything right now is going to be... So how the flow of the game is going to... I haven't really planned a lot of this out. Obviously, it's really like open right now. This is just like in my head. I haven't done anything yet. So like everything that we see here is going to be like security. So security has been like turned on anything biological. And I want to add an ability to turn it off, but I don't know if that's feasible. So yes, and the first boss is a security drone. It's a big drone that you fight. So okay. So we've got the body sprites, which is fine. So they're in the right place. So it's just the arm. They're all not visible. So we can remove these. Right arm visible. Left arm gun. Yes. I think I'll leave that. Okay. We can bring back left arm, right arm, head. Now we just need to get the frames for this. They're going to be down the bottom. I would really like a way to get the frame numbers. You know what I mean? I suppose these are the frames here for the head. So they're at the very end. Where's the head? He looks so funny because I guess it's gonna go blank, right? Yeah, okay. That's the first frame there. Don't create reset. There. I don't like, what is this, 301? It's not counting properly. 302. 303. The arms look so funny. Okay. Left arm. It's gonna be like... Yeah. 286. Let's go all the way. Oh, which one's the left one? Which one's the right one? This is the question. I think the first one, actually, I'll be able to know based off it's right arm first. Okay, so if I'm doing left arm, then I'm targeting, so just so you guys know what I'm looking at, I'm trying to orientate myself. So realistically, that's this frame here, this I'm going for here, which, okay. So if I go and I get the heads and I go back from there, arms, 2, but it's the left arm, so that's like the right arm position. It's not that. Could be that. Welcome, Kira. I'm hoping you're having a great morning. Make an L with your hand, and that one, and the one that gets correct is the left one. Oh goodness. Sprint left. The left arm is forward on the first frame. So that's all I need to make sure that if I'm keying the left arm, I need a forward frame, which is head. That's not right. I like animation. That one. I reckon. Yep. I get so annoyed. I'm just going to insert key and increment by 1. 273. Insert key, 274, and then insert key, 275. That's not right. 272, 274, should be 273, 274. Still got it wrong. 275, okay. Okay. And if this is 272, should add 3, 4, 5, 6. 276 for the right arm. Is the starting frame. 276. Doesn't look right. There should be something like that. 274? That's this one here. Did I say that? I said 7.6. It should be a backwards facing arm. Oh, you know it's not. Because we need to go down 2 more. So 276. It was close. 2 plus 4. 280. 284. 284. Okay. That looks about how he's supposed to look when he's doing this pose. $284, $285. Duplicate. $286. Duplicate. $287. Okay. I just realized how much more there was much more to learn in coding. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, eh? It's a never-ending pursuit. I don't think you ever really get to the point where you know everything because it's always changing. Okay, he looks like he's sprinting to me. So this is going to be a move that you can do after you dash. So you can sprint like this. Regular running looks like Run left. Much slower. You know? And this is like a bigger lunge forward. So got that. Cool. Let's do sprint right. Actually, can we delete sprint right? Remove. And then go back to sprint left. And duplicate. Okay, what the heck? What's going on in the reset? The visibilities are not set correctly. Right arm gun visible, that's fine. Frame, frame, frame. So why can't I see that? 184. Oh, it was the old, I know what it was. Right arm, head. Okay. Sprint, sprint left, and then duplicate. And call it sprint right. And then we just like, we already know roughly where we need to go. We just have to flip these. So this needs to be +4. So if I go 264, he's going to flip. 5, 7, 6, 7. 7. So just +4 everything. From the sounds of it. Easy. I love animating. This is one of the reasons why I went into tutorial making in the first place, because I was like, low key, like making a game kind of sucks. It's kind of miserable in certain points in time. Like, this is just not fun for me. I want to go back to coding the systems for the save and load. I suppose that's why people work in teams. It makes sense. I'm sure someone out there likes this. 2, 4, and then that becomes 6. 7. 8. 9. This is just the counting stream. I'm just counting. Okay. 9. Okay, looks really weird. 8. 9. I think it's really raining outside. Well, my computer's going really fast. 90. The number memes when I was a kid were much cooler. It's about doing drugs and like having sex. And now it's just like, it's a goofy number. 6, 7, Jesus. 91. Sweet. I think one of these frames looks a bit dodge. Like that looks weird. Is this supposed to look like that? Can I turn off my hitboxes and hurtboxes? It's kind of strange. Let's do a frame by frame review. Turn on the right arm. That's how I drew it. Yep, a lot of black in that like middle corner here where all the overlines, like the outlines overlap. I'm getting a bit mixed on the outlines. I don't know if I should keep them. But they're here for now. So, okay, we've got our sprint, which we're not even gonna, I don't think we'll have time to implement tonight, but it's there. Do you think it's easier to do 2D versus 3D? Welcome to the chat, Emira Hank, that's a long name. I'm just gonna call you Emmy. So the answer is there are some things that are easier, right? Like 3D math is harder, but I think you can get away with a lot more when it comes to the artwork. If there's something wrong in 2D, it's very easy to tell. Whereas in 3D, you can sort of just like, no one's, if you make like a simple game, and it's like asset pack, I don't think people care too much. Depends on the game. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that. There's complications. Both are equally difficult. I'm turning this the wrong way. They're just different. There's a lot more. Like, I thought I originally chose 2D for this because I thought to myself, I think I can do a better job animating and drawing a character. That looks wrong on the legs. Math is easier than the art. Yeah, if you use assets or low poly, no one cares, but 2D games, it's more important. Yeah, exactly. It's harder to make a good presentation because, like, 3D, you can just turn bloom on and it looks good. A couple of shaders. And, but yeah, so there's some extra challenge there. I'm realizing it. But also at the same time, like, you can iterate pretty quickly. Like, I can draw up a sprint frame. This only took me, like, I did it in a morning. You know what I mean? It takes me a while to implement it because I'm not that competent at, like, the animation stuff. But, you know, I think it would take me a lot longer. I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, though, like, the resources for 3D, even Mixamo, right? Like, if you want to get animations in, it's not that difficult. It's a little bit more, like, technical. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, download it from Mixamo, set up your Blender properly, and you're good to go. You end up with the same kind of issues though, like getting it to work good. That's always the hard part. All right, so we've got a sprint, but I also need like our power up animation. Wait, do I have it already? I think that most solo developers tend to make 3D games rather than 2D. Yeah, probably with Unity and stuff, like a lot of people were making 3D games. Oh, I do have power up. Okay. I'm also one of them. Yeah. I mean, this is my first serious project or bigger project, I would say. And it's like definitely, you know, I don't know, man. Like, I chose 2D because I thought it would be easier, but if I did like a 2D Metroidvania, like Metroid Dread style, I think I would still struggle because the level design tools in 3D aren't as good. So like with tile maps in Godot, it's so easy, man. But you do have to sit through and draw your sprites and stuff. Ain't no one animating that for you. I mean, I suppose you could outsource it. I don't know, man. I'm definitely mixed on it. Right arm, left arm, gun, left arm, head. We need to bring all of those back. Now, where the hell are those in my sprite sheet? I believe the head is like one of the last ones. Okay, so it's here. This is the frame I want. So we're just going to go to the end and then take off 8. So that would be 299, right? And then that's the first frame here. And the visibility can go. I shall leave now. Good coding. Good luck. Good coding on luck. Have luck. Good luck on coding. Same to you, dude. One frame. Okay. Arms. Same thing. It's 2 less. So the right arm is going to be 2 less than this. So that's 294. Nope, that doesn't seem right. That's the head. There we go. 293 hours, one off. Math. Actually, the first frame here. Great. Duplicate. Increment. And then the left arm is, I guess, 293 minus 8 minus 1 or something like that. 293 minus 8, which would be 285 minus 1 would be 284. Something like that. Math. That's not right. Well, I tried. Yeah. No. Okay, so I 294 to go back 280. I had to go back one. There we go. 280. Sure. Quick math. 21. Okay. Okay, so this is when he's getting powered up. That's what he's gonna do. And we're gonna, a particle. I need a particle effect. And I would also like to do like flashing, but I'll worry about that later. Yeah, let's just get the power up actually working. Okay, so now we have that. We've got, I still have to do the, like some kind of animation for when you get health upgrades, but I've got one for the energy upgrades. So we're going to start there. How does this get all put together? I don't know. Energy acquired. This is a hide on ready. Okay, good. So there's a function call here that I've set up. So I did some coding last night. I've yet to see this in action. We have on energy collected, and we pass through a number. Based on the number, it shows like a certain animation, 1 energy, 2 energy, and then into like both completed. And we've got like shake screen functions that are getting called during the animation. And then when it's done, it's done. So this actually needs to be called. I don't think I've done that yet. I think that's where I left off. So when you have 1 energy, we're calling hide. But actually what we want to call is not hide. We want to call insert key. Hello, Justin, the voice actor. Welcome. How is voice acting? I always wanted to do that. On energy, I don't have any other voices but my own though. On energy collected. No, completed. Okay, so we call it, that's good. 1 energy, and then when it's done, we call completed, and completed, we'll call the animation completed, which just hides it, basically, in a more nice way. And I probably need to do a callback to the game state so that we can release the player from its, like, powered up phase, so you can move again. Okay. 2 energy. Gather energy complete is the other one, because if you gather 2 energy, it's going to play 2 energy, and then it's going to play the next thing, which is where the 2 things collide together. And then we're going to call complete after gather energy complete. Here, insert key on energy collected completed. There we go. Okay, so now we have to do some stuff on the player. Got some thunder outside. Okay. NA Games, welcome to the chat. How's it going? Oops. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, so add energy bit, add an energy core. This is where we're at. Okay, so we have bits and cores and stuff like that. At work, just saying hi. Enjoy your work, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Energy bits. So we're gonna add a bit, and then I guess we can just pass that on to the UI, or in this function here where we check them, we could also call it there, which would work. And well, no, actually I take that back, because we're gonna need to stop the player from moving around. Right, so we have to do like an interrupt to our state machine, which I forget how to do, but I'll look that up. Okay, so let's just get the thing showing up, which is easy because we can connect a signal to it via the signal manager. That's probably the best way to do it, right? So we can create a signal in the signal manager. So many signals. Okay. Signal. on energy bit collected. And then we'll do bits, and that's an integer. And now we can go to the game state under energy acquired, and we can go signal manager dot on energy bit connected collected dot connect to the callable on energy collected. Right. And then in the player, we can emit that here. We go signal manager dot on energy bit collected dot emit, and then we emit player energy bits. Okay, so that will trigger the UI to show us whatever on energy collected, right? And it's going to play show, it's going to do that on energy, and then it'll do all the things, right? I think that's all we need, right? And then we have to stop the player. Well, let's see if this works. Let's take it to this stage here and then just see what happens. Oh, we got competing sounds. I got some here right in front of us. Okay, I mean, yeah, that worked, but there was a little bit of a thing there. So let's collect the second one. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, to be honest. Like a first go. Now, the reset. So how this should look on reset is going to be... so these are all Atlas mapped. So we need to go to energy 1 texture region is -40. Okay, that's correct. Energy 2, I've got a bunch of them. It's kind of not the best way to do it. Make that -240. That just means it won't be visible. And then energy 2 combined, does that have one? Energy 1, energy 2, energy acquired, background, energy 2 combined, -240, and then key that in the reset. Well, okay, we'll just key that and then I'll energy 2. Where are you? Energy combined texture region. It was already here and I just missed it. There we go. Okay, let's run that back. And now it should look better. I would say it takes a little bit too long to start, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Not doing anything else yet. Now, is that just due to the length of the show? Is 1 second, even though it's finished at 0.2. So let's just make that 0.2. Common mistake there. Let's run that back. Yeah, that's good. I love it. Solid. Okay, feels good. Feels juicy, feels good. Now, we just need to freeze our player and actually do something. Okay, so player. Now, there is a way to hold the player, prevent them from moving, but we also have the ability to just enter into a state from here. So we can go state machine start. We can probably actually have like a function in our player state machine that allows us to enter into that state. Because we have one here, unlock state, lock state, health contained, override state. State is processing, current state finished. If physics is processing, is this a function I've made already? Am I calling that in the player? That seems like something that I intended for this purpose. Yep, override state. Okay. We have to create a state too. Add a script. It's motion. Right. and it's gonna get saved in scripts and under player state machine states, and we'll call this, what do we call this? This is power up. We're going to use this a lot. Okay, create. Now this one is automatically unlocked. We need to go to our state machine for our state array and add an element here. State interruptible. Yeah, sure. Data. Unlock states. We need to put this one in. Copy its name. Unlocked. Okay. All right. I think that might break my save and load. I think it might break the save and load. We'll see. Now, idle is not that different, right? Or inactive, I should say. See this? I take. But with the animation is just going to be different. We enter into the state, we set our velocities to 0, and we play the power up animation. Power up. Power up. Okay, so that's all we need. In the script here, we can just call override state with the string attached to it. So we add an energy core. We can call inactive, and we can call power up. However, how do we get out? That is going to be something that we need to call back from the signal manager. So there's two ways that we can do this. We can either call it back to the player state, or to the player code here, or we can call it back directly to the power up. Or you could have the power up just be the same length as the animations, but they vary, so it's probably best if we just have a signal come from the signal manager here, and we set it back. So I'm going to do it in the player script here because it's just easier. So I'll have to create a new signal. Game state, signal manager. Damn, it is hot. Next office I get aircon, I think. This is just not a good climate for like having a computer in your room. You know what I mean? On energy. Let's just call it on power up completed. Doesn't have anything. And we can just have it here, signal manager. On power up. Completed connect. On power up completed. That doesn't exist yet, so we will come down to the bottom of this script, create a function. On power up completed, doesn't need anything. Void. And we'll just go back to the idle state. So we can use this now. Anytime we get like an upgrade, we can just override into the power up state and then come back when we're done showing that. We're going to need to make a bunch of power up screens and stuff like that, which is going to be fun. Okay, so now what we need to do is actually emit that. So if we go back to energy acquired here, where it's completed, yeah, we can actually go signal manager dot on power up power up. Did I not save it? Why not autocomplete? Don't admit. Okay. Easy. Alright, so that should solve that issue. Go back to the player. Okay, so now the only other thing... Okay, let's test before we do anything. Just make sure it works. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Child unlocked, data unlocked, power up on base object string. Okay, so creating state map doesn't work because our save states are wrong. So I need to like delete the save states. I probably need to like implement a fix for that at some point. I think a lot of that depends on where your skills and talents are. Yeah, I guess that's a really good point. Like when it comes to 2D and 3D, like what are you good at? And I think like I chose 2D because I thought it's easier if you're bad at art, but I'm learning that that's not true. I'm in it now. I suppose I could convert it to 3D. It wouldn't be that hard. I just don't like the level design tools in 3D. I much prefer using tile maps in 2D. So that's what I'm in it for. Because grid maps in 3D kind of suck. Delete these. Okay. Okay, so I am frozen in place. We've got some errors here. What's going on? No input as power up. Okay, so that's a problem. Blend tree process. Oh, I have a state. Okay, yeah, I forgot. I have an animation tree that I need to set up. Good fun. Like I just like put that transition request. Doesn't exist. Does now. State 10. Oh, that's right. I have to do these blend space 1Ds. So annoying. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't. There's only one kind. I don't have to do that. Animation. And it's just power up. It's near the bottom right. It's alphabetical. There it is. Okay, so that should fix that problem. Now, I think power up. Yeah, and modeling is hard in itself. True. It's complicated. State interruptible. Power up is state interruptible, so it should be able to override the state. Why no work? Okay. Okay, so he's doing his thing, but he's not getting out of it. So that's the next hurdle. State machine override state power. Oh, that's probably why. Idle. Sorry, I just yelled into that. It's so stupid. It's like we're going straight back into that state. Okay. Oh, great. Okay, now let's add a actual energy core and this will be done. So add energy core. We need to do the same thing here, but I was realizing that my energy has no way of increasing the max energy. Like max energy is just max energy. I never thought to put in functions to increase that. Right? So we have set energy and we set the current energy. Add energy, use energy, stop healing, start healing. We might need to rethink how that works as well at some point. When healing begins. Okay, so yeah, we don't have anything. That's okay. Func. We have the functions in the UI. Set max energy. It's to be underscored. Okay, and then we can just go max energy equals max energy, and we need a signal. I've got this here. Current energy. We could actually make current energy just equal max energy, and then energy changed dot emit, and that goes to the UI. But I don't know. In the game state under the UI, energy, update energy bar, set bars, set max energy. So we've got a function here. I don't think it's ever used. No. So we probably need to create a new function here. Signal manager on player max energy updated dot connect, and then update set max energy. Actually, let's just check how we're doing it for the health, because I know I had problems with that. Okay, player max health updated, set max health. Okay, we are doing it that way. Which makes sense because I'm establishing the max energy and health in the game state when we load the game. So we're not calling on that except for when this happens. Now for the add health core, player health core, set max health updated. So I'm doing it here. Don't know about that. Also, I don't think I have a function for getting the max health. So I should probably do that too. Get max energy. Okay, so far actual float, and it's equal to max energy plus, and this is how we're doing it. We've got another thing called a health core, but we've got energy core. Energy core times core value, which is 25. Cool. And then we return that. Okay. So we added core when we do that. And all we do here is we get the, so we go var max energy. I'm just trying to make sure I copy the flow equals player data dot get max energy. I forgot to save the script. Get max energy, and then set max health. So this is, do we have access to the energy container from here? Yes, we do. Set max energy, max energy. And then we do the signal. Signal manager dot on player max energy, max health. Just copy. Copy, copy, because it's easier. Okay. Game state. Max on player health. Oh my god. That's some pro level copy and paste. Okay, and then put that in the energy. Max energy updated. Okay, and then go to the player. Emit the signal. Now max energy. Alright, so now we can add a core. I think this is going to happen at the exact same time the animation happens, but we don't want it to happen until the end. So we might need to do like on power up completed rather than if check energy bits here, we do this after. So yeah, we might need to do anyway. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just see if it works. We should end up with a fourth energy bar. Yes, and we do, and it happens all at once. So we have multiple. We ended up with 2 extras. That's not how it should work. Now we had this error with the health, and we were sort of adding it twice. Turns out, check energy bits. Energy bits plus equals 1. Energy core. Do we just have 2? No, we just got 1. Hair. Is it getting called in more than one place? What's the problem here? Energy bits plus equals 1. Add energy core. Or is just the math wrong on this? Energy core is equals plus 25. Max energy is 50. So we get to 75. And oh, actually, you know what? I think the math is wrong on this. So I'm saying there's 25, 25. What's the energy container? Have I overridden these values? I changed it to 20. Current energy 20, max energy 60. So there's probably just like a math error here. So I need to change the 60 and 20. Player data. Interesting. These should feed in. That's the other thing. The other issue now is that this needs to be actually given from the player data to the energy container. It shouldn't be controlling itself. It needs to be getting that information from the player, not just standalone. But we can fix that. So energy bits required. Energy, we add 25. Energy is 20. Max energy is 60. Let's just make these the same. We've changed them here. Energy core value is 20. Let's just change the default as well. Okay. And then theoretically now that should work better. Should only end up with 1. We still end up with 3. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But if I go, how much do I have? My computer graphics courses during my bachelor, so I think I'm more familiar to think that way, but I do agree. Modeling is hard, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've done a Blender course and I can't model for shit. I think it just depends on the person. I know how to use Blender. It just don't look that great. The player. Current energy is 25. Okay, did that just not get max energy 85? Yeah. I started using Blender in like my first exposure to Blender was in 2006, I think. And I was really bad. And I was taking a graphic design course at high school. And I was at the top of the class, but the competition was not that fierce. It was not like an art school or anything like that. And it was more for design, like engineering or like CAD drawing and stuff like that. That's where they were focusing things on. But I was like, no, I want to do fun stuff. And I started trying to learn Blender on the side. I couldn't do it because like it's completely different from what they were teaching us. And then I gave up for like 10 years, but I came back to it eventually. And then eventually I realized I liked coding better than I liked doing Blender. So here I am. Okay, so why is my math bad? 85. Use cost 15. Okay, that's fine, whatever. 60, 20. So how am I working out this? Get max health. Max energy is just set. Current energy, max energy. So that just comes from the calculations here. Which we get from add energy core. Get max energy. Which is 85 instead of, I already know the answer to this question. This is save data tripping me up. Just answered it myself, delete that. Oh yeah, it's only got 4 now, but I want it to happen when this hits the bar. I would like that to go to the correct spot, but I don't think I'm going to be able to achieve that. I'm just not that technically capable. But okay, so how I think this should go is we actually have power up completed, but that I want that to be more universal. I guess I could just make it more specific. Because I could just do this check here. That I think would work, you know? On power up completed, not declared in the current scope. What? My first experience with 3D Studio Max and Blender was so different I could not get it, but I was also 14. Yeah, it was like I was really young, and also back then YouTube didn't exist. Well, actually it kind of did, but not for like the educational kind of thing. At 36 is still very overwhelming, but I'm slowly getting. I think the biggest thing is like the educational resources are now like so widely available. It's really easy to pick up and learn anything. Okay, this I think will technically work, but I don't like the solution. Yeah. It worked. Okay, and then these don't do anything because I need to add health collection animation, which is going to be fun, but we'll leave that for off stream because animating is just so boring. You know what I mean? No one likes that. Okay. Here's Cinema 4D. Nice, dude. I feel like anyone using commercial software is like, it's more cool. Even though like, I guess open source is better, but yeah. Cinema 4D for Minecraft YouTube videos. For Minecraft YouTube videos. That's kind of cool too. All my enemies are bugged. Okay, so I want to do sprint. So I have to go and collect the dash. I don't oh, nice, dude. Oh yeah. Love it. Okay, I can actually just do that, right? I don't... Wrong button. Control. Change abilities. I forget I did this. This is like, oh, I need to go play the game. No, you don't. You made the game. You have a secret. I have the dash. Okay, so let's try to implement sprint. After sprint, we're going to dash, basically. Go into a dash. Sorry, after the dash, we'll go into a sprint rather than just going back to the same speed. Easy peasy. Or so I say. Which means we need to set up. They did have a huge guide. Did it require reading? Me and 15? I was not reading. I don't, well, yeah, read thousands of pages. I'm not reading. I was bored. Like, yeah, it's just one of those things. I think it might have been the first time that I ever encountered something that I could not pick up and learn on my own, if that makes sense. Because like most stuff is just that, it's not that complicated. Like office software, you know, anything you're doing in school is just not as complicated as like 3D software, which was like way more complicated than anything that we were learning. Okay. Probably less than 1,000 pages. Oh man. Nah, I wouldn't even sit through that now. I'd go find a YouTube video. In fact, I took a Udemy course on Blender. That's how I learned how to use it. And it's also how I learned how I was not good at Blender. Well, not good at 3D modeling. I don't know how to put it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I know how to put the vertexes on the screen, but I can't make them look good. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, so I need to set up the animation tree. And... Okay, so I have like a tricky thing. For learning code, I think reading docs is better, but for anything visual, YouTube is better. Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like there's a certain, if you're like brand new, like having someone tell you is good, but then at a certain point, you get to a stage where everything that is like taught on YouTube is at a basic level. You know, like once you progress past that, it's like, now I have to go read the docs because like, I'm not going to find any help because what I'm trying to do, no one's going to show you. And modeling and programming are the things you actually have to learn. Yeah, you could someone can show you what, like I know how to functionally use Blender, but like no one can teach you how to make it look good. I don't know. Like there's a artistic, someone can show you how to code, but they can't show you how to make a good game. It's just innate. Okay, what do I need? Wall slide. Run state. Left start, nope. Oh my god.
Please enter valid text to continue.
I can't tell if that was a mistake or intentional. Oh, dude, I don't want to do the run state. Was like annoying. I don't think I need to do that for the sprint. What happens? So like in some games, they make it do like a cool little turning animation for when you sprint to the tool, but doesn't mean you love your end product always. I think there's also like an artistic element, right? Like if you want to learn the basics, YouTube is good, but when you want to learn something in your mind, watching YouTube limits creativity. I think you're right. Yeah. Like to learn the functionality, it's fine, but like there does come a point where you got to leave that stuff behind.
Yay, I'm free from the ads now.
Welcome. Does anyone else hear a crackle when the TTS comes through? I hear a crackle on my end. Okay. Stop dawdling and do it.
Don't think so, I haven't been really paying attention.
I think it's like peaking. Take it down a notch. You don't hear nothing? Okay. State 11 is going to be sprint. And we'll just do a blend space, not 2D, 1D. I'll keep this simple for now. Honestly, LLMs are great for learning code, but not having them build stuff. I've never used them for learning. I asked it a couple of questions and I was like, nah, you don't know shit, bro. I was like, I do finance in my day job, and I'm like, tell me about this lease. Like, what should I do? And it's giving me like textbook answers, and then it's like, I know the textbook. I read it. I had to do that. I want to know the application. What's the correct application? And it was not giving it to me. So I was like, but this was a long time ago. This was when 3.5 was released. And I was like, as soon as that happened, I was like, no, it sucks. And I never went back to it, I guess. And then people start saying it's bad. So I'm just like, nah. But I don't know. I think it's really up to personal preference, right? I just realized, what is this? In the trash? What is this? Dude, they tile funny. The really face. Okay, so we got a blend space. Oh, it means I need to have to set the blend. Ugh. Sprint blend 2D. This is when I find like development really slows down for me, when I'm like forced to do stuff. You didn't notice? Okay. When I'm forced to do stuff that I don't like if I don't like it, like this, I hate this animation stuff. And it's like, I'll drag my feet, sprint blend, and complain constantly. Okay, so now I need to like get this, and I need to go to the motion script, and I've got a big freaking list, and I feel like this could be done better, but at the moment, this is just what we're doing. Huh? Give me all your money now.
Gonna give me all your money now. This is a robbery.
Dude, I'm broke. I've got nothing to give. Actually, that's not true. I shouldn't complain. But, no. I always figured if someone said that, I'd be like, just shoot me. Gun blend? Watch streak reached. Goosefat is currently on a 20 stream watch streak. Dude, that is insane. You've just been showing up, eh? I don't know the path. Right. Yeah, probably.
I told you I'm only here for the chaos.
Only here for the chaos that you cause. Okay. Yeah. He used to invent functions that didn't exist and tell you to use them to solve your problems. Yeah. I once asked it to create like a 2D character controller and it was like telling me to use all sorts of things. Just name a function that implies that it does the thing you want. That's actually kind of funny. Is it gun blend position? No, it's sprint blend position. And it really just wants the normalized direction X actually. Yeah, like I feel like this, I'm setting all these blend positions. It'd be nice if I could just feed them it all to one variable. Like, there's one thing that's always kind of bothered me about the node states. Like I vaguely feel like in Unreal Engine you could have like an input. You know what I mean? Like an input, and then I could feed the input, and not input like as in the key input, but rather you could just have a variable come in from external that you could set feed to all of these for the input, and so I could just need it to feed it to one place, and then I could just like connect the node. But I don't have that here because I'm so ADHD. I just want to get the job done. Cursor on my software engineering job. Yeah, I've heard from people that Cursor is really good. I feel, yeah, I don't know. I'm not super opposed to the idea of using machine learning to help with these, because my whole gripe with AI is that it was meant to make our lives better and our jobs easier, but it doesn't do that. It just makes funny pictures. But if it is making you code better, that's kind of the point of what it was supposed to do. That's what we were promised. I mean, I suppose the other fear is that it replaces humans and the humans don't get new jobs, but we'll see, you know? I don't power up Illuminati. Conspiracy. Okay, so the sprint blend should be set. So now I just need to create this state. Add a node. Sprint. And then add a script. It extends motion. This is definitely copyrighted music. Illuminati casting fireball. And person holding a gun protecting you. That's what I see. Oh, I see. It's like, oh, it is holding a gun. I thought it was a camera. Ah, I thought the emoji was like she was holding a like a photo camera. But now that I see the enlarged version, I do see that it is a pistol. Player. Which is this one? Oh, it's like the chat. You're holding up the chat, yes. Player state machine states, not power-ups. Spring? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Print. Okay. Is the state interruptible? Yes, it absolutely is. And then the dictionary of unlocked states. Sprint. I suppose it can technically be unlocked because even though you won't be able to do it until you dash. So like theoretically, you know what I mean? Like theoretically, I can just make it be unlocked and I don't have to like do a double unlock when I unlock the dash state. Because you can only get to it from the dash state. You pet me. I received the pets. Fuck. Enter. I'm Dum Dum. Run. What are we doing? Run. I want all of this. But for... Codex. I like how you can put the sunglasses on the Godot. That's cool. Godot with sunglasses. Okay. I want all of this. Run dash cooldown. Yes. Play step. We can leave that out. I take the code and I put it here. Anti-gravity, is that just another LLM? LLM? Google anti-gravity. Streamline UX development leveraging browser in-loop agents. It does definitely speed up output, yeah, that's fair enough. Makes sense. I have yet to be treated. Accountants, finance people don't have any LLMs to help us yet. I kind of don't want them, to be honest. I'd rather just do my job in peace. Okay, so this, we go sprint. All right, direction, run, delta, data acceleration, get velocity. So here's where it gets different. The velocity needs to change. And we want jump distance, time. So this needs to be like a get sprint velocity.
Beans.
Or we can override this. So we can take this function because it is meant to be overridden. Get velocity. So what do we do for the dash? Be consistent here. Dash duration. Velocity X. Get dash velocity. Oh, it's a jumping data.get dash velocity. So we can call data.get get velocity. We can just call get velocity on data to figure out the velocity. But we will need to override this.
Cast, you are now a loaf of bread.
It didn't work. I don't know what to tell you. That's not quite right. Okay, so here we call data.
Someone behind you.
Yeah, Angel. So, but. Okay. And that's her head. Oh, she detected. She's so not interested in participating in the stream. I don't know if she likes it, to be honest. I think she used to, because it used to be a treat for her to come to the room with me. She's not normally allowed to like go wherever she wants in the house. But like eventually it just became the normal. She sits in the office with me. And now I don't think she likes coming in here with all the lights on. Get velocity. So data, bell, float, return val. Okay, val equals data dot get velocity you're down to 500 distance dash distance and then data dot jump time. It's an IDE. Nice. Okay, wait, how do I get jump time? Plus these two here. VS Code based IDE with Gemini. Okay. TTS is dead? Damn. Okay, so now we're calling get velocity and we're going to use dash distance. Most programming jobs don't use any creativity or critical thinking, just moving data somewhere to somewhere. I think it's fair to use LLM on code completion, yeah. But it works similar to Codex. Like if you're running multiple tabs of Codex simultaneously, I'll pretend I know what you mean. I don't code as a job, so I wouldn't know any of this stuff. It just, you set up a bunch of virtual junior engineers and have each separate tasks work together. Slaves. Computerized slaves. Where is the second? Why is some YouTube chat blue? Because they're members, which means they're extra cool. It's like being, I guess, a prime. It's like being a subscriber on Twitch chat. And the whole purpose of, however, I will say the whole purpose of the consolidated chat inside a box like this, where you can't really tell where the chat's coming from, was to make sure it was to comply with Twitch's requirements on chat, which is like you're not supposed to treat people from other chats better than Twitch chat. Twitch chat is meant to be on top. Now, most people interpret that as like only displaying Twitch chat, but I interpret it as like it's just like equal. So I try to make it equal. I haven't gotten in trouble, so I don't get that. I'm also not that big on Twitch. Anti-gravity. It seems very promising. Nice. It's like 0.1 USD. Nice. I have it set as low as possible, to be honest. It's the lowest I could make it go. And I believe in my region, that's like $2 Australian, which would be more like 1 USD, not 0.1, but I guess they do regional pricing. I don't mind. It's not really about that. It's more, I can't not charge for the third person course because it's on Udemy. So like you can buy it for $10 and it's not fair to make it available for free all the way through. So I've got like 30, I think, episodes for free, and then it switches over to a paid tier. Okay, so this really run dash cooldown, move, get velocity, check ground, yada 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 yada. Okay, finish the mid turn. No. If x equals 0, Oh, actually, I guess we could go to turn. That should still work. And then what happens in the turn state? It's like a Lego dude. Roblox. Turn. Okay. We can deal with that. Okay, so because what we can do is here, we can say if input dot is action pressed dash then finished emit sprint else finished emit run. So we can go into the turn state. Okay, Black Shift 101. When X ever exactly 0? Just a good point. I don't know. I suppose it would be better if it was X is exactly 0 when you're not pressing anything. Here, this goes to 0. It does work. Sprint or sprint? Spring. Finished emit. Thank you for pointing that out. I am not the best at spelling. Also, my keyboard is not full size and I make mistakes all the time. And I've had it for 2 years and I've still not adjusted to it. I don't know why. I use it every day. Thank you, Rembot. Okay. So we've got the sprint. How do we get to that? When we dash. So when we dash, after dash is finished, we've got all this here. If character is on floor, action press left, get velocity, finished emit run. If action press jump, we jump. If velocity is that, we go to 0, finished emit fall. So here, when we go to run, we can also check if is action pressed, if input, I should say, dot is action pressed. Dash, then finished emit, sprint with a T, else run. TTS ain't working. What happened? It's still turned on in the dashboard, so I don't know. So sorry about that. Okay, moment of truth. We've just been, I wanted to say vibe coding, but we're not vibe coding. We are coding to the vibe. I don't know. Oh, it's not going to run. It'll crash because I added a state. Ah, man, I'll work on that off stream. That's a really boring problem. That's not the right folder. It's had a long day, maybe. Project, open user data file, delete the save. Profiles. I think I should address that at some point. Have more resilient save files. Okay. So I can unlock the dash by clicking it here. Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah. It's working. It's just I don't think he's moving faster. Okay. Thanks. Like I just tried using some open source coding LMMs. I spent like an hour cleaning up the code for basic pun game. I'm not sure if Vibes coding actually saves time. Yeah, but it feels good. Except it has permission to edit files. Could you imagine if you guys had the ability to edit my files? He's not in the chat right now, but I know NA Games would be changing my shit all the time. Okay, so it worked. It was not faster though. And it makes me wonder how I am calculating velocity. Game would be done. Just change the name of all the variables to something silly, but not to break anything. Yeah. You just like click all the things. I forget how you're supposed to do it. It's like Control Shift whatever. Select the next in the line and then multi-line edit. Toggle bookmark, evaluate selection, create code region. I forget how you do it because I don't ever do it because I don't rename variables. So I'm hella slack like that. Okay. Get velocity is distance divided by time. So theoretically the dash should be faster. Dash duration, dash distance. What is the dash distance versus the dash versus like the regular distance? Is it the same? Dash distance is the same as the jump height. It is the same. So we're gonna go the same speed no matter what. I need a new variable for sprint. Dash duration is way shorter. That's why it's faster. Because the jump is still 1 second. So it's going to evaluate the same speed no matter what. But I don't want the time to jump to change. I just want the distance to change. So let's just say, for example, let's add a new variable here. Sprint distance. Float is equal to 64 plus 32 is 96, I believe. Are you getting a double move? I don't understand the question. Sprint duration here. Okay, but like, what am I passing in? I actually forget how this works. If I go to on ground motion and I go to get velocity, is jump distance. You said you were too fast? Oh, I wasn't fast enough. I can't speak. Player state machine data. So the jump distance, yeah, it's 64. Sprint distance, 96. Let's go with that. And then now we should move faster. If we take this variable and here for our speed, instead of putting dash distance, we put sprint distance. Run the goddamn game. Come back here. Okay, he doesn't exit that when I release the key, but yes. He's definitely moving faster. Not a huge fan of the animation. Okay. So, sprint. State update. If direction is this. If state input. If action press hold. If event dot is action pressed. Is action released dash. Then finish the emit. Run. Camera seems a bit jittery. No, you're correct. I was noticing that too. I don't know what the deal is there either. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be ultra smooth. Where's the player? It's actually the sprite, I think, not the camera. Wonder what that is. It doesn't feel that fast, eh? Should it be even more? Should it be twice as fast? Or am I giving them too much? I bump it up. Bump it up to 128. But that's a lot. That's a big gap. It does feel more like After all, you're going to rework it. So yeah, you're right. As I haven't even designed the levels yet. Okay, the only other thing left is like there's no sprint jump. So when he goes to jump, he just goes the regular speed, which is really jarring, and I don't like that. So we have to add a sprint jump. We can just use the same animations for now. Yeah, the sprite is being weird. Oh, I don't know what that is. Huh. Are you snapping the transform? Nah, just call him move and slide like a regular Joe. I don't think I'm doing anything fancy. I just received the velocity from the player state machine and then just call move and slide. We got some octopi in the chat. Nothing fancy. I don't know what that is. I'll look into that later. Okay, sprint jump. Woohoo. I suppose I need a sprint fall as well. Blech. So annoying. Flying drink. It gives you wings. Trying to grab my phone. Been getting notifications. It's gonna be some storms, I think. I always love the weather. Get the physics FPS to match the game FPS. That does, for sure. It for sure does. Because that is the default in Godot, right? I don't actually, you know what? Like now that it's changed over to Jolt, I don't know. Physics 2D, 3D. I can't even remember how you find that now. That is something you can set. Mic. Is the mic dead? What's going on? What? I know what to do. I have to pull the plug. How do I sound? Am I repaired? Yeah. I don't know what it is. This is a really old M-Box, so like it could just be a really old microphone. This microphone is like 15 years old. I got it in 2012, 2011. So it's getting on. That's the one good thing about audio equipment is like you can kind of just like, it just lasts forever. Dude, I don't even know how to check this anymore. It's like VSync is enabled. Frame rate? Physics common? Yeah, physics ticks per second, 60. Oh, you know what though? Like, I think maybe we can print that out, right? What's the refresh? It's 75 Hertz, right? So maybe it is different. So if I change that to 75, What is this? Oh, I added more states. Ugh. And I never attached the scripts, just delete them for now. He's no longer being weird. Thank you for the advice. I need to find a way to set that. Add that to the to-dos. Because not everyone's going to have a... Some people have 120 hertz, right? I suppose you would just like set the... Set the frames to be... Will that... Yeah, I suppose it's fine. I don't... Set the physics frames. Set the max FPS to 120 to cover all our bases. It'd probably run 120 frames, no problems, even on a potato, so that could be a solution. I'll see what other people do. But it's definitely... Thank you for pointing that out, because I had not even considered it. Okay. Oh yeah, we're adding states. Got sprint jump. In air, I guess. And we save that to states. And sprint fall. In air. States, sprint fall. Create. Okay. Easy. And I'm just going to copy the code for jump and fall. But the, like, unready bar, jump stream player. I just copy that down, right? Easy. TTS, wake up. TTS is dead. Don't know what happened to it. Okay, so transition to jump, velocity y equals get jump gravity, that's fine. The velocity, however, is different. So we need to override the get velocity. We can do that the same exact way here. Just copy this function. Because this is inheriting from on ground, so I can't, they have to be different. I have to paste it in. I can't really, I can create an in-between state. I could create like a, instead of extends motion, it could extend motion, extend sprint or something like that, and then go. Yeah, I'll just copy and paste the code. It's fine. Trust. Get velocity. Okay. Sprint distance, time to jump, yada, yada, yada. Sprint fall. Let's do the exact same thing. Land stream player. Let's add that there. Copy the code like a barbarian. Okay. Play land. Easy. We're not emitting the signal. Do we have signals to emit here? No. Okay, good. And then the same thing. We just need that velocity function. I guess that no, we don't want to do that. Because, yeah. Control is set on that. Copy. Paste. Okay, so when you are in sprint and you hit jump, where is that check? Ah, okay. If action pressed dash. Okay, so we need to override state input. Oh, we already are. Okay. If event dot is action pressed, jump, finished emit, sprint jump. Yeah. And then for sprint jump, instead of going into fall, we're going into sprint fall. And that'll just keep our speed consistent between like the different states. Easier than adding a check in the fall and jump to determine if what speed we should do. It's really, it could go either way with this. It's not super serious, but like we'll do that. And then should work. Yes. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, no, I need to add these to our add key. No. New key. Sprint jump and sprint fall. I can't see anything this far away from my screen. My eyes are really going bad. Sprint fall. Okay, they can be unlocked. That's fine because you can't access them unless you can access sprint, and you can't access sprint until you unlock dash. I'll probably change that later on when I realize that's not the way to do it. Okay, what else? I think state update. Okay, yes. Interruptible. That's the other thing. State interruptible. Jump fall is in these, so should sprint jump and sprint fall. I forget what this even does. I think it means that if you take damage, if you decide to heal, you can exit the state. So there's some states you can't just decide to heal. You can't go into the heal state if you're taking damage, for example. Okay. Do a new game. Just pick up all the collectibles here, so they're not in our way. Oh, I have to add the state. Change abilities. You want dash. And then the rest we can keep. Would forklift milk be the oil? Okay. Sprint jump. Failed to not found. Sprint jump at... spring jump. I keep spelling it wrong. Funny. Okay. Because I changed the name, and so now the save data is looking for spring instead of sprint, and you got to delete them because, well, you could change them, but I really have to create like a smooth little function for that. Now we have to go again. Change abilities. We want dash. This doesn't fit on the screen. Super annoying. I did not go into the appropriate state. I definitely slowed down there. And unfortunately they look identical, so I can't really tell. Which is pretty funny. You cast dyslexia? How dare you? Just a mild mistake. After you showed me that picture of all the letters being jumbled up, I have no doubt that I am normal, because I do not experience letters like that. the odd spelling mistake. Sprint distance, get velocity. Can you put up sprint GD? Yeah, dude. It could be because we're returning to state input. I'm actually not 100% sure. You should probably like, if you go to Wikipedia and put in the URL dyslexia with an instead of a Y, with an I instead of a Y, you actually get redirected to dyslexia. That's awesome. Yeah, so the only thing here is like potentially because it's going down this list and then it's finding in this state input that if you press jump here, go to jump. So I could, this is not the right state. Here, I just put like a little return. Maybe. And then also, this reminds me, I need to finish doing my debug window of the building. Anything in the base? Oh, there's so much stuff in the base, actually. Yeah, the state machine is really compartmentalized. That's dash. You want to sprint. So, this is sort of the same way that I do my state machines in my tutorials. I've got like a base state. So we've got a state which does 4 things. It does enter and exit. That's super sus. I don't know what I said, but that's funny. And we've got input and update, right? So this is just getting called in the state machine during physics update, and this is getting called in the input. So if you go and you have a look at the state machine, if I can find it, player state machine. Here you can see in the physics process, we're calling state update. And in the input, we're calling state input. So we've got that. And then beyond that, you've got motion, which is like a big state that just like has all the stuff you need when you're moving a character around. So we've got a function to get the input. So like we're reading the input in on a like a polling basis, right? So we're doing this in the process rather than the input, because that's how you move a character, right? I've got this massive thing for the animation player, which I hate, and I wish there was a way to fix it. I don't know how. So it's just there. You get it? And then we've got move, update gravity, yada yada yada, get velocity. And we can override those functions, which is what I'm doing here. Good night. See you later, Goosefat. Sleep well. Okay. Now, did the return work? This is the question. Was that all I needed? Change abilities. Dash. Done. The answer is yes. However, method is calling on a null value. Okay, I do know what the problem is there. Sprint jump is got no casts. Same with this one. It needs all of the ray casts so that it can do its job properly. The answer was yes. I was reading the inputs. Let's just pick these up so I can jump around in this little space here. Probably delete them, eh? Change abilities, dash, done. I forget the buttons on my own game. You see that? His arm is showing. It's not supposed to be like that. I have to fix that. I think I broke that playing around with the animations, for sure. Okay, we got a sprint jump. Ouch. Well, that's all I wanted to do tonight. That was my goal. I guess I could fix that bug where his arm is showing in this one, but not here. So it's fine for this direction, but not in this direction. Interestingly. I wonder what that is. Jumping's okay. Ouch. Okay. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so gun left, right, gun left. So we talk. I'm scared of. Okay, so your FSM has a lot of object oriented, which is good. I don't see people break it down to that many pieces though. I'm scared of using inherited states because GD script lacks inheritance traits. I actually don't know what you mean by that, because as far as I was aware, like I'm inheriting, like maybe because I'm not a professional programmer, you know, so like I'm extending motion, it allows me to pull in all of the variables and the functions, interfaces. Oh, interfaces. I don't know much about that. But yeah, listen, I think this is the best way to do it. Sort of you break it all the way down, and it allows you to have a really, really strong movement set without sort of needing to do like a bunch of if and else's and all that kind of stuff. Like we know that when we're in the sprint state, if I press the jump button, we don't need to check like anything else because we know what state we're in. And to me, that's like the most powerful thing. And so doing it this way, I learnt pretty early on was the best way to have like a complex move set without running into trouble. It's pretty much the only way to do it as far as I know. Like there's an add-on that people use which does the same kind of thing, I think, just under the hood. I forget what it's called. I break everything down into what do you need? What do you do if you need behavior from two base states? That's a good point. So you can sort of see me running into this issue here with sprint, where I'm extending on ground, which like has a bunch of stuff in it that I don't need, and also I'm having to override the get velocity function because I need to use a different velocity. Same with sprint jump. I have to add, you know, that extra check because I'm sort of just like cheating at that point. Like I would prefer, I think I mentioned it, like maybe I need to have like an in air, but sprinting in air, like another state beyond that. But yeah, it's like you can't really combine them like that. So you just sort of have to deal with this weird. It's all about, yeah, code duplication. That's literally what you get, right? And maybe there's a better way around that. Like I said, I'm not a professional, so like I try to do things as best as possible, and like following what I think is like good practices, because if you don't, like things get super messy. But yeah, and I've seen that in like some of my boss attempt at making bosses. Some of that code's a mess, but it works. Okay, so why are my animations busted? Gun left. I don't know. Left arm is visible, right arm gun is not, left arm is not. Right? This is what we would expect to see. So I must be in the idle state that I've got like a visibility. I explained at the very start of the stream that I was playing around with visibility on the frames, but it doesn't work because of this whole like separate sprite business. So idle left, I'm assuming has visibility, and it does. And so if we turn this off, everything will go back to working correctly. I suppose if I wanted to get really technical, like the way to do like a sprint jump would be to inherit sprint, like, sorry, inherit jump, and then like change the variables I need to change, I think. Is that a blend tree? Is that blend tree flat, or are you tracking 2 state machines? No, in this one I'm only doing 1. I did 2 for my third person controller tutorial series. We've got one for the top half and the bottom half. Actually, yeah, it's top half, bottom half. Actually, it's 3. Top half, bottom half when you're in combat, and when you're not in combat, it doesn't need to be that complicated. So it's just 1. So that split, it gets really crazy. But this one, no, it's just 1 big transition. And that so far is fine. And so what am I doing here? Blend space, gun blend here. I suppose technically it's 2, but this one is way simpler. Yeah, I guess, yes, here. And I add the gun, so how it works. When you have mirror the state machine in the animation, yeah, dude. Yeah, it can be tricky. That's what it's like, this is why I use the animation tree, not the state machine. I much prefer this. It works a lot better because you can just have a list like your state list. So I've got like, you know, idle, run, jump, and everything just feeds into those, and you just do a transition request. And you don't get like those lines going all over the place and all that kind of crazy shit. Just this. This is fine. Yeah, let's test this. Yeah, it's working. Okay, cool. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing now is that when I restarted this game, I only have 3 energy, and I've already picked up the upgrades, which means most likely it's not saving correctly, which is not surprising because how does that work? So let's have a look at the data actually. Ooh, what fun. It's not encrypted yet. Health chunks. Got 2 health chunks. Got 1 energy core. Ah, JSON, yes. My saves are just JSON files. Actually, that's just Godot. If you want to save, it has to be a JSON. There's not really an alternative. That's not true. What are the alternatives? I suppose technically config file is goated. Config file has security issues. Same as the resources. You can do code injection with that. But I guess it has encryption. Okay, yeah. I did test, and then when I Googled it and found out that you could inject code, I switched to JSON. I actually don't think for a single player game, like, it's so not a big deal, but you know, I just figured I'd do it the way that the docs tell you to do it. You know what I mean? Just follow the rules. I've had like guys from like the maintainers, people who maintain the code, be telling me like, nah, into config. I know it's possible with resource, but for config, that's new. I think it is new or newly discovered. Where's the googs? Brave. Godot config file code injection. Stop suggesting the use of resource config file. Aids safeguards against loading. So the thing is, you get like stuff. Is putting entire nodes into CFG dangerous? It's buried deep. I have actually recreated it myself. CFG file, config file, code injection. AI seems to agree with me. I don't know. It's like, I know with Jason, it's like, I'm good. I don't trust AI for the, I don't trust AI full stop. I take it as like it's like, oh, maybe I'm on the right track. I need to find the source material. Sometimes you can also use that, like, oh look, it's taking how to save player settings, Godot config. Yeah, security measures, doesn't have links, file location. Where did I see it? It was in GitHub. Mutating config overrides the whole file. It was like a pull request. Ah, well, I can't find it anymore. If I do find it, well, I'll post it somewhere. Config file, and you can save, like it's saying here, like you can literally use it to save values like player name, best score. And the pull request I saw was someone saying like you shouldn't do this because it's not, like it's vulnerable. But like, man. I got like questions. Writing bad code written in a hurry. Note or warning about, there we go. See. I knew it was in the docs. Okay, the fact that str and config file deserializes objects is likely to cause security issues. So this is pointed out in 2023 too, which is crazy. And I followed and I was able to recreate this. So that's the pull request, and this is why I stopped using config files. But like, I don't know, like for a small game, if you like, it just depends, right? Is the fact that you can put like stuff in here, you can load code here, a problem? Yeah, but like if you're downloading, if someone's giving you a save file from a website, like if someone's like on Steam, like, oh, I can't get past this boss, and someone's like, here's a save file. I mean, I feel like that's on you. You know what I mean? That's like, what are you doing? Don't download that shit. You can get a virus. But hey, I'm using JSON, so I won't have that problem. It is a little bit more work, but it's done. It works now, but yeah, okay. So we were looking at that. I got distracted. Now I think actually, I can see here that the energy cores, so this is your, where is that? Energy underscore core. Huh? Where is that? I know it's in here somewhere. Energy core. We have one energy core, so we should have like more, but I'm not calling, I actually don't think I'm calling anything to check that when we start the game. You know what I mean? So here we have a function called initialize player, but we get the data, right? So we set the max health and we set the health, we set the energy, we don't set max energy. So because this is new, set max energy, player data, get max energy. Okay. And now I think I haven't updated the, so if I go and check the player, how much energy does the player have versus the UI? Is it just a UI issue? Current energy is 80, which is correct. So yeah, it's a UI issue. So we can go to the game state. Energy container. So in the game state, when we load, it's sort of separated because I don't want to emit signals. So I just want to call that, because otherwise every time I load the player up, which is like every time we change rooms and stuff like that. We only want to call this when we start the level, or start the game, I should say. So when we load the player, we are calling in just load data. I thought config file was safe. That's really bad. Yeah, I didn't know about it. Like, I set up the entire save load process, and then I was like, you know what? I should check. And then I went to the page and I was looking at that and I was like, damn, it's for real. You have to use the dictionary. You have to use JSON, I should say. But yeah, I guess it really just depends on what you're doing. So you can also check, like there's add-ons, right? For checking the resources. The thing with config files and even resources, right, is the fact that they're aware of types. So like some stuff is really easy to do. You know, like when I read in, where's my save game here? Like when I read stuff in, I have to really go through it, right? Set. And I have to call these functions like set. Whereas like if it's a config file, you can just grab the type and match it exactly. But, you know, this attitude of not needing to worry about security is actually bonkers insane. I can understand resources as it is supposed to be a native data container, but config file, no excuse. Yeah, I do agree with you. I think you're right. Like it isn't even in the documentation, like telling people to use it to save information, right? So right up the top, they're saying here, you can save it in the user space. Whereas resources, it specifically says not to do that. So, you know. Kind of bad. No, I think it's good. It's good to learn and talk about, create awareness. It's probably one of the biggest flaws in the, like, if I have to think about like the biggest issue I have with Godot, it's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to work out when we call, okay, so here, health manager, energy manager, set max energy, player data, max energy. We need to call get max energy, not max energy. Let's correct that there, and that should work. I hate interacting with JSON. I don't like it either, man. It took me a whole day to set that up. Once it works though, here's the thing what I like to do. So what I do is I store all my data in a resource file, right? And so we've got the player data and it's like your health, max health, energy, credits, chunks, cores, whatever you want to keep, it's in this resource file. Even the state data, right? State machine, how fast you move, weapon data. I don't think I'm saving that, but it's there. And you have it to JSON. What I do is, and I don't know if this is like good or bad because I haven't really looked it up, but what I did, I closed the game state. Is, oh man, hang on, let's pop this out. We can read it. Save game JSON, player core data. That's not right. Load data, player core data, update player core data, get profile data. It's so old now. Where am I playing around with player data? A lot. String to vector, player data. Save data, get property list. That's it. So you just go array. Is there a to.json? I don't know. Get property list. So all your properties get put into an array and then you can just loop through it and you have to avoid 4102. So that's like all the shit in like a resource file that you don't need. So if you want to just keep the variables you created, you want to make sure that it's equal to 4102 and you get that. And then, unless it's a resource, because I don't want to save resources because that's not going to work. And then I save that as a dictionary. And so like I can just add stuff to that resource and it'll automatically get added to the JSON. So I don't ever have to think about like creating an extra whatever. I just push it to this. I'm making it, yeah, and then I just go, yeah, to JSON or whatever the frick you have to do. It's super annoying. I was at handling object references, node paths. Because with resources, you need that anyway. And then I cheat a little bit. I have a starting resource. And so I grab that starting resource, I think it's up here, player data, and I push that data in when I load it from the JSON. So I don't have to worry about the node paths being incorrect or anything like that, which is not many. I have actually none player. I think I'm all good, actually. It's these two here. It's safe. You aren't using that JSON from native. I don't know. To and from native. It's so long ago that I did it that I don't remember. Let's have a look. Because I'm storing everything as dictionaries, and then I go JSON stringify save data dictionary. So I store like player state data, location data, scene data, encounter list, playtime, map data. So I was originally like splitting them out. Now I've become a bit lazy, and the discovery list has been where I'm putting everything now because I don't want to create another dictionary to keep track of everything. But I am tracking the bosses separately, playtime and all that. Stringify saved. There is an optional full precision. Is it better? To native converts a JSON player value that's created from native back to native engine types. By default, objects are ignored for security reasons unless allowed objects true. Okay, I didn't know that. That might have been helpful. Mine's all just like strings and numbers at the moment, so it's probably fine, but... Because like, say with the boss encounters and stuff like that, it's like what do you call it? It's a UID that's linked to the boss, and that just gets stored in a dictionary. And so like, if the boss has been defeated, I'm not passing an object, I'm just passing that UID. And so when you come back to the UID, oh, like, where's the security drone? Oh, lovely. Perhaps it's not... It's actually a part of the encounter. Oh, stop that. So I'm not really passing objects in, but it's nice to know that you can do that. I might look at load path, yeah. Code review. Where is it? Did I close it? Data to load, JSON.data, so I'm passing it as a string, and then I am... What am I doing here? File exists, get position, save length, get line, JSON pass, JSON string. Is the UID stored, or is it stored as... No, it's stored as text. And then just, I don't know how it works, man. I can show you that in a second. Load data. Data to load. Okay, so yeah, I load up this JSON as JSON pass, and then I pass that into a load data thing, and I have like a separate function for each thing. Because the user could replace that with user // injection trez. No, I don't. Oh, maybe. I'll wait for the ad. Security drone. Back with the ad. Thanks for hearing my second. No. Okay. So, so how I do it is I have just a resource attached to the encounter that generates a UID, right? And then that is just passed off as an integer. I don't even know. Hang on a second. Let's have a look at the boss encounter here. The script here. Boss defeated. Encounter completed ID. Export boss enemy, boss encounter. Extends encounter. ID, UID generator. It's a string. So yeah, it's just a string. I don't know. Like, I think it might be okay. I have to check that. It's a good question. Because I'm not storing... Yeah, I'm unsure about that. Can you get to it? I don't know. The resource is never saved on file? It's not saved to disk, it's just saved in the Trez file. For this, like this scene. I don't know, man. Is that a security issue? I hope not. And basically, as long as you have a translation step between that string and the collection of resources, yes. So what happens is that gets sent off to the dictionary, which is, it's literally stored as a string. And when you enter the room, that string is just, well, when you load up, that is just stored as a dictionary where it's like string, true or false. That's literally it. And it's always going to be true because I haven't set up like a condition for false yet. I guess at some point I'm going to need a list of all the bosses and to know whether or not you've beaten them so I know the percentage of completion. But at the moment, it is just like string defeated. And so what this does is it says boss defeated. I would say let's extends encounter, right? Game state, check encounter. And it passes that ID, right? Which is a string. And if it's in that list, it deletes itself. I haven't tested this on an exported build yet. Oh, I should test on an exported build to make sure this works. Because sometimes stuff like this works in engine, but it doesn't work outside of engine. Because it's a bit hacky. Because I'm essentially leveraging the resource to get a unique identifier, so I don't have to think of a way to generate it myself. I just use the UID gen. And I attach that resource to the boss, but I don't actually like... It holds no information other than that. I don't know. Should be fine. It's all strings. Get out of here. Funny noises. Okay. What the hell was I doing? Max energy. Is that's fixed now, right? It's just bits. Yeah, literally. Yes, okay, so now we have 4 health, 4 energy. Cool. Okay. You know what? Oh, yeah. We can run into the boss chamber. And that's it. I've just got to make... Oh, so I got to do some animations. Okay, so the next steps to like sort of finishing the demo. Game done? Not really. No, because right now I've got to do a bunch of polish for if I start a new game. So this is when you... So basically this is kind of like if you think about Hollow Knight, same kind of rules apply here. So you've got like your energy, which is like your mana. You can use it for healing. And I don't have anything else to use it for yet, but I want to add stuff. And you've got your health bar, right? So we've got 5 health. And it's the same thing. You can collect energy and you get more energy, right? I did that just the last couple of days, and now I've got to do it for the health. This is like health. It's a gross bit of flesh. And when you collect it, nothing happens. But if you check the menu, which is really just a black screen right now, it tells you you've got 2 and you need to make 4 into like this gross heart thing. So I need to add animations for that. And then I also need to think about art. I don't have any art. Snagglefluster, welcome to the chat. How's it going? I need to update the art. Like a Zelda heart? Yes, it exactly is like a Zelda heart. You are good at economics. I have a degree in commerce and I studied economics at university, so I know a little bit, but it's been a very long time. But to answer your question, yes. I feel like I know a bit about economics. I'm also, you know, everyone carries their own biases about what's best. I'm a Keynesian economist. I prefer Keynes. I've read his book. I'm not much of a Milton Friedman guy because I think he's a fucking liar, you know? But that's just me. And that is just an opinion because, like, the truth is somewhere in the middle, realistically. Opinions on the tech bubble with AI? Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of value there. But, like, here's the thing. Over the last, like, I guess 10 years, it's like the conventional wisdom would be that there is no value being created, and so people should, like, leave, you know, not use AI anymore, right? Or not use, but they should divest. Like, people should sell their shares because they realize no value is being created, but that's not what's happening. It's just like crazy. Okay, I was looking and there was a study done recently proving that AI art is a destruction innovation, meaning it does add to the economy, but it subtracts more than it adds. I mean, maybe. I haven't seen, like, I've seen a lot of people say that it, like, it costs more to produce, right? Like, a lot of these tech companies, they let you use their stuff for free to, like, gather up market share and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, so, like, the cost of producing that AI art is astronomical, right? Like, even if you think about the R&D, it's a huge cost. But, like, what is the actual output? So we can create like a meme to post to Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, there's no value in that. I suppose, like, ultimately endgame would be like production companies and movies would be able to use these tools to create movies more quickly and more efficiently, I guess. If I had to like, the fact that I don't like that it does that, but like that would be what you would say what would happen, but that just hasn't materialized, right? The amount of AI ads okay, so maybe like there is room for it in the AI, in the advertising space, like images files and text files. Next files are way smaller than video. Image files versus text files. The text files are way smaller than the video. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the size of it, but like companies using advertising AI to create advertising could be a value add. Right? Because people are able to create advertising without the cost of having to hire a production crew or anything like that, I guess. Makes sense. I guess the time will tell. My feeling is that it's probably all gonna crash and burn, but we'll see. Like, you don't know yet. It's too early. And so there's a lot of people with opinions. But yeah, I don't know how they plan to make money off this. Like, genuinely, I'm not sure. I see the value in AI, like chess AI is a big economy since like the 90s and hasn't flipped. Chess AI is big? How do people make money off chess AI? Okay, that is something I've never heard before. But do they sell it to like chess.com so they can use it to like create something that people can play against or whatever? That's an industry I haven't heard about before. That's cool though. How AI dominates a segment. Video games, yeah, right, okay. Is it the same as LLMs though? Like, is this the same?
One thing that I like to always think of when I hear somebody say, okay, large language models, I tried it on computer programming. It's at a junior technical level. It's useless. There's nothing to see here. Move on.
They intercross a lot. Okay.
We went through a lot of the same things on many of the other technologies. Look at some of these articles here. We're looking at horses versus automobiles. These are actual real newspaper articles.
And so like, that is something that I do remember where people used to talk about, like, eventually an industry will take over, and there's always like a bit of pushback. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Normal consumer won't like it. People like Red Bull because they invest heavily into sports. I don't know if they can buy a can of Red Bull. I'm a micro patron of extreme sports, but AI has no philanthropic use. Well, maybe I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's too early. But like, I think as well, like, the regular consumer doesn't care. Like, you know, if I could tell, like, I don't know if I would boycott a product because it uses AI for their advertising. I'm trying to think of anything that I've seen that I like to buy. I use a lot of language learning apps, and I don't like when they're using LLMs for interactions. I don't like that, but that's more just a personal preference.
From right around the turn of the century, there were some real concerns about horses and how they might coexist with the cars. So, you know, the cars, they may be faster, they may be better, but how would we ever get them to work with the horses? So that's probably the death nail for the automobile right there. Concerns about the battery, because you need the battery so that you can crank over that gasoline engine at any time. The early batteries were not that great, and
yeah, aka Chess AI, aka NPC, we already have used AI to solve some big, yeah, I mean, but is it the same as LLMs? You know what I mean? Like, because AI is pretty wide. Like, I suppose the question is, like, does generative AI add value to the economy versus, like, regular AI? Same as LLMs? Okay. Because, like, I don't think being able to make a picture adds much to the economy, but maybe I'm wrong.
And that was certainly a concern. The article on the right talks about some of it being a fad and some of just the foul smells associated with the...
Just in time for the outro, we're arguing about the contribution of the AI to the economy. Matrix transformations. Yeah, stuff like that. And that's like genuinely good, you know, like, because obviously the AI is very polarizing. I'm inherently like wary of it myself, so I have my own bias, right? But like at the end of the day, things like matrix transformations, or like when it's doing complex math, or when even like the way people use it for coding, like it's genuinely making people's output faster, and that does contribute positively to the economy. Whether or not that justifies like the cost of production, like what does the cost of like you know, one of those LLMs cost to produce and run, I don't know, versus the output that the user can get from it. That's a question I don't have the answer to, right? And that's like how you would know. A lot of people seem to think it's a bubble that's going to burst. So that's like the prevailing advice is like they're not returning enough revenue in order to justify the costs of the production of these things. So I don't know.
Cars, I'm thinking of
But like, yeah, generative AI in terms of like the pictures, the misuse of this tech is like pouring gasoline on the capitalistic market. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, if you can use it to like cut, so here's the harm to the economy, right? If you can use it to like cut your workforce, then there's a lot of people that don't work. And the prevailing advice is that, oh, well, they'll find new work because new industries will open up. But I don't know. I don't feel like AI does that. You know what I mean? Something I want in my game. Exactly. So like this idea that there might be something to fill the market is a question at the moment. And I think that's the ultimate answer, because if like all of this is cutting down on the labor market, which is the ultimate goal, fuck AI, yeah, hell yeah. The ultimate goal of the companies, because less labor is the benefit of this, right? Because the output's greater. Then, like, I don't know. That's the question.
Horses here, but I guess the gasoline and other things. So resistance to technology is not anything new at all. Every new technology, we look at it and say, yeah, this has got some real problems. I tend to always, in the back of my mind, when I hear, okay, large language models can't program, they can't do this, whatever, I like to...
Do you mean automatically? Axiomatically, to be against the whole is to be against its parts, and it's naive to refuse exceptions. Well, I guess that's why I say, like, we have to acknowledge that in some areas, this does improve people's, like, output. And that is good, because I think that's the whole point of AI. But when it doesn't, but also you need to be aware of the fact that that might affect the market in some other way. But yeah. This example is a bit scuffed because oil and cars equals climate change. Yeah, well, there's an implicit cost, right, in the climate that is never captured in these devices. And it's the same with AI. It's a huge cost of energy, right? And if you're not using clean energy, there's like a massive impact to the environment that is just not being captured in the cost of this product. What about my example, AlphaFold? I don't know what AlphaFold is. You could become dependent to have any progress. And that could be a problem too if we're using it. We're not like exercising our own creativity or ingenuity. AlphaFold. Yeah, I mean, this is a good thing, ultimately. And the fact that we've been able to use AI to do it because it does process things at a faster rate is good. So like there are good examples for sure. Protein for all protein problem. Solved all protein folding for all proteins, which is amazing.
Always suffix that with this week, because all of this technology is moving so fast. So some of the AI difficulties, this changes literally almost on a monthly basis. I remember just a few years ago, I did a Halloween outfit where basically I just added a finger and I was a computer-generated human being.
That's
because there was so much problems with when you would generate images, it would put that extra finger on there. Then there was the problem that it was just not able to render a full glass of wine, mainly because I guess there wasn't training data of a lot of glasses of wine filled completely to the brim. I would have been happy to provide some training data there, but this has been overcome just within the last couple of months. They still cannot deal with analog clocks that well. If you ask it to render a specific time on an analog clock, it won't work so well. But I'm sure this is a gap that will be closed soon.
Yeah, but what do we need this for? That's my question. Like, yeah, the AlphaFold stuff is genuinely helpful. A picture of a clock? But like, what do I need this for? What are we doing? Get back to fixing problems with genetics, please.
So will Gen AI assist, augment, or replace us? Really, I think the answer to this question is over what time frame are you really talking? A long enough time frame, but for now.
Is basically randomness with an opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it. Like, it's just noise.
Now, for the foreseeable future, chainsaws didn't replace lumberjacks. Lumberjacks with chainsaws did. So if you're the lumberjack and you just know how to use the axe, those lumberjacks who have adopted new technology and know how to make use of a chainsaw, those are the ones that are going to potentially put you out of work. But let's look at the AI dominance arc, because there are a few areas where AI has completely dominated. Humans simply just are not needed. So let's look at one where this actually happened, and that would be chess. So human versus human chess. We had this for the vast majority of history. Then we have chess engines that used algorithms like Minimax. So these were just algorithms that would play chess. I remember these coming out in my childhood. They weren't that good. They could pretty well always beat me. But Battle Chess, you might have seen that back in the day. And then even when Deep Blue beat Kasparov, They just threw compute at it. It was the same old technologies, just massive compute,
Just more iterations.
lots of pre-programming of beginning games, end games, all that kind of thing, and some of Kasparov's own strategy, just pre-programmed. That leads to, like I said, the brute force supremacy, and then centaur chess. This existed for just a little while, where the best chess computer in the world and the best human in the world would always be beat by a combination of the two. And centaur comes from basically a horse, half man creature. And then eventually AI comes completely into its own. And this is where we're at now. AI through AlphaGo 0 an Alpha 0 for chess, it's developed its own beginning games, end games, its own strategies, which are completely unknown to human beings. One of the more popular chess books right now is a book on the AI strategies that the very pawned forward sort of method that these machines actually play with. Here is this book was written by a human about chess strategies.
Was it though?
The chess computer, it's not a large language model, so it can't actually explain a strategy
It's not a large language model.
to you. It's really more of almost like we observe animals out in the wild and then we write about them. That's really how this book was created. As we move more and more to AI dominance overall, I think we'll see more consolidation where the same algorithm is being used to...
I can't trust what he says, the NVIDIA sticker. He's an investor. He's an industry plant. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, time will tell, because I guess the question is, like, is it going to damage the labor market or is it not? Because, like, in a current state, like, if it's not, we're just generating pictures, eventually I think it'll consolidate. Like, this is the same thing. You see this all the time in business. I see this all the time in my work. Companies will grow and grow and grow. Your opinion is objectively wrong. It's just a sticker. Or like, you know, companies will grow and grow and grow, and then they'll grow too big. And what they'll do is they'll shrink back down and they'll focus on the things that actually make them money. And so, like, yeah, maybe this image generation shit and this video generation shit is just not worth the time, right? And they'll just go back and they'll concentrate themselves on things that are genuinely, AI is genuinely good for. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely makes money within business. But yeah, time will tell. We don't know. Like, everyone's got different opinions. Ad hominem? What are you talking about? It's just a joke. It's just a joke. T-Quacker? I don't know what this is. This is like different argument flaws. U2 rhetoric technique that is intended to discredit the opponent's argument. Good times. But yeah. We shall see. It's one of those things where the truth is in the middle. It's not all bad, obviously, but some of it, I think my biggest concern is what it will do to the labor market, right? Because it has the ability to sort of replace jobs and not give people more things to do. I don't know. Like, that is something that I'm worried about personally, but we'll see. Especially when someone speaks with authority. Yeah, you should always stand, like, that's like the right default. Like, you should have skepticism in your life when people tell you things. Can't wait till the day comes where prompt just gives you 42. Skeptical. Yeah. You have to start with that. But every opinion is valid? I don't know if every opinion is valid. Most. I mean, you're entitled to yours, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it's just one of those things. Like, I'm not particularly strongly stanced. There are bad opinions. I think if someone was like, yeah, AI is going to like replace all humans and we're just going to have like a universal basic income and we're going to all live in a utopia, I'd be like, that's definitely not going to happen. They're going to consolidate the wealth and like literally kill all the people that aren't billionaires. And the billionaires are going to live in a utopia, but not us. We will be eliminated. You know what I mean? If that's the outcome, I don't think we're surviving it. But who knows? Maybe that's a really bad opinion. Like, cats are objectively better? Okay, I'd just ban you for that. Oh, okay, we can't really tell because she's like sleeping. Dog. Sad but true, probably. Yeah. The billionaires will just melt us. They're not keeping us around if the robots can do our job. The chunker is sleeping, but she's very chunk. Dude, I need to create like an angel emoji. My dog's name is Angel. I think therefore I am me, but me is but my actions and people perceptions of me, and my clothing and my persona is me, but a different me than the soul and sentient. I kind of get what you're trying to say. Can always use extra hands. True. Where's Fat Angel? I'm trying to look for a photo of Fat Angel. Oh, there's Fat Angel. Fat Angel. She doesn't always look like that. It was just a funny photo. Like, your hair is you, but it's not your soul. I get it. Yeah. And here's when she used to get into the bins and steal stuff. That's an avocado seed that she stole. YouTube blocked my message again? Was it a link? I don't know. I've got... YouTube moderation is kind of weird, eh? It never works properly. Well, it goes too far. Oh! NA, did you see the animations that I made? I don't know. Animations. For collecting energy. Maybe in 100 years, the AI loves to play human-made games. It's just a retro, an AI playing retro games. That took me 2 days, eh? 2 whole mornings. Now I just need to make one for the health. That was for the energy. Your anger, you're happy, you're sad, you're tired, you're frustration. They're not your actions, but your actions are not your emotions. But they are both you. How did I do? I animated by hand. Objects, UI, HBar, U2, resources, sprite. I don't know where it's saved. I don't even know what it's called. It's in the wrong spot. I remember this. Scripts. No. Assets. UI. Nah, nah. Nope, that's not it either. Pickups. Energy pickup. Ha! Here it is. Do you agree with me? Or understand my philosophy? I sort of get what you're saying. I don't know if I agree implicitly, but like I can't, you know, your actions are not your emotion. I disagree with this. Like the other thing where it's like your hair is not you, that's fair, because like your internal self is different from your external self. But like this is kind of like outside of my wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Your anger, your happy, sad, tired, and frustration are not your actions, and your actions are not your emotions, but they are both you. I feel like this is like some evangelical, Evangelion like end scene in where Shinji is like losing his mind. Bullshit that I never understood. It's literally, yeah, just frame by frame. And then some particles underneath. I adjust my views on new information. Free will or no free will? Free will. I reckon. I'm more of a naturalist. I'm not stuck on ideas from Descartes. Oh, dude, you guys are going way too far with the philosophy stuff. Descartes French philosophy. I didn't get to study philosophy. I mean, like I said, I studied economics. So like, I'm big on Keynes. I don't mind Karl Marx either. But, you know, the philosophy stuff, just make games, exactly. Just make games. That's what we do here. What's on the to-do? I need to make an animation for the health pickup. So that's next. I'll probably do that offline because it's hella boring. And then... I don't know, man. Oh, I gotta make money and buy things and computers. I want to have like terminals that you can interact with. I spent 2 days on a health bar. Yeah, I spent some time on my health bar. Spinoza. I don't know who that is. He's a philosopher. Interesting. Yeah, I probably need to learn more about this stuff, eh? Because I don't know shit. I went to a Christian school. They didn't teach me this shit. I just read the Bible. Make a custom shader? Oh yeah. I haven't delved into that yet. You missed my 200 IQ question. Sorry. If your actions are predetermined, but your predetermination changes every millisecond, is it free will? I don't know. If your actions are predetermined, but you're predetermined, yes, I would say yes, because like if your predetermined changes based on your current action, then like most likely, yeah, right? It's kind of like just a prediction model. I went to pick up the headphone box and now it's in my hand, and so you know that eventually I'm going to put it down, so it's predetermined that I'm going to put this down, but it's only because I picked it up, and I could have decided not to do that. I was forced to attend a private Christian school and learned and forgot Latin. Oh, okay. Mine wasn't that kind of Christian school. I didn't get to learn Latin. It was Protestant Pentecostal, I guess. So it's more like happy clappers, Hillsong kind of stuff. I learned how to pray in tongues. Good times. I did have a good time though. Like a living program, I would say we are. It's changing zeros and ones. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, pretty similar. The education itself was good. I had a great time. Yeah, I did good. the school, like the learning itself was fine. I think back then there was less like politics involved in religion as there are compared to now, especially with like Protestantism. But like, so like, you know, critical thinking and all that kind of stuff was a really big deal. Another thing is uncomputable. So it's hard to prove because no set is computable and doesn't require equations. Yeah, okay. True. Okay, I think I'm gonna end, and yeah, next time we will be doing health animations, or I'm gonna do them so that next time that I'm live, we're just setting them up. You're not watching me like tweak a bunch of sprites around the screen, squash and squish them, you know. Damn, it is humid in this office. It's got to be like at least 30 degrees. Raid time, eh? I send you to base code because he's my friend. Well, he likes AI. He might be getting off soon too because he's Australian as well. It's later than... Alright guys, I'll see you all later.
Bye. See ya.
Oh, is he signing off as well? Hang on.